Chelsea could replace Pochettino with one of Europe's most talented young coaches. Mauricio Pochettino has finally steadied Chelsea, and with the League Cup final on the horizon, the only way out is up. However, one draw in the FA Cup and back-to-back defeats in the Premier League have completely destroyed what little optimism remained for the remainder of the season. French outlet Sports Zone reports that Clearlake Capital co-founder Behdad Eghbali, Chelsea's majority owner, is a big fan of Bayer Leverkusen manager Xabi Alonso and wants to make him Bayer Leverkusen, Xabi Alonso manager. Chelsea coach. While this news may excite Chelsea fans, it also makes it clear that the Spaniard is yet to make a decision regarding his future and remains a very popular option for some of Europe's biggest clubs, most notably his former teams Liverpool and Bayern Munich. Chelsea's fear Mauricio Pochettino's sacking could result in financial losses. Chelsea are reportedly not in a position where they can sack head coach Mauricio Pochettino before the end of the season. In the summer, the Argentinian signed a 2-year contract, with the option of a third, as he is tasked with spearheading the Blues' revival in the 2023-24 season. According to the Daily Mail, Chelsea co-owner Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital may not be able to act during the 2023-24 season. The report claims that there are concerns behind the scenes that Chelsea will breach profit and sustainability regulations if they have to pay Pochettino and his staff's contracts. The amount is expected to exceed £10 million at a time when the club is struggling to ensure that it meets all the criteria in the short term. Chelsea are looking to sell at least one academy graduate in the January transfer window, but no club is willing to meet their asking price for the likes of Trevoh Chalobah, Conor Gallagher, or Armando Broja. Chelsea cannot sack Mauricio Pochettino, as failure could mean a points deduction. Sacking Mauricio Pochettino this season would hurt Chelsea in many ways, and if he leaves before his contract expires, this could potentially lead to a points deduction in the Premier League. After back-to-back defeats in the Premier League and conceding 4 goals each, the pressure is mounting on the Blues to make another change of leadership. However, breaking ties with the Argentinian before the end of the season could result in a points deduction, which would be a disaster for the club. The Daily Mail reports Chelsea will have to spend more than £10 million to get rid of Pochettino and his staff in the near future. And as most Premier League clubs already have strict limits on spending, this could result in a breach of the profit and sustainability regulations. Everton and Nottingham Forest have been accused of breaching their budgets in recent years, with the Toffees at risk of a second points deduction after being deducted 10 points. Meanwhile, Manchester City will face trial later this year over 115 alleged violations they committed. Chelsea have spent £400 million on Mauricio Pochettino, but things have gotten worse. The midfield is all over the place. The defence won't stop conceding, they are dull in attack. The agony and despair was evident on Mauricio Pochettino's face as Chelsea suffered another defeat on Sunday. This has become commonplace for the Blues boss this season, as Chelsea continued their eternal crisis and reached their latest nadir with a 4-2 home defeat to Wolves. His frustration is understandable. After all, Chelsea's squad for Sunday's game costs a whopping £710 million, including an underperforming midfield duo that cost the club more than £220 million between them. The £1 billion spent in the Todd Boehly disaster era hasn't even come to fruition. 8 of the players brought in the US player transfer market are under contract until 2030, so it will be difficult to shift them if their performance continues to be poor. The defeat to Wolves and its aftermath has added to the pressure on Pochettino, who has just 6 months remaining on his 3-year contract. Mauricio Pochettino is allegedly considering making changes to Chelsea's formation. According to the Evening Standard, Pochettino is open to switching to a 3-at-the-back formation in a bid to increase their stability at the back. With Chelsea looking increasingly open since Chilwell returned to the team, returning to a 3-at-the-back formation with wingbacks could help Chelsea's defence and give Chilwell greater freedom to attack. The same goes for Malo Gusto on the opposite wing, with Pochettino could use one of Benoit Badiashile, Colwill, or Trevoh Chalobah in the middle. At his post-match press conference on Sunday, Pochettino admitted he might take some decisions to find a different way, a hint that he could trigger a change in tactics. Mauricio Pochettino has revealed what type of player he would like to recruit for Chelsea. Pochettino is still interested in bringing in players who can provide more depth to the team and influence results with their skills in set-piece scenarios. The Chelsea manager said, "We work a lot on set pieces. We have a group of analysts. After that, what is important is the quality of the players and the fans. We don't have specialists. Maybe Ben Chilwell was good with his delivery, but we didn't have a specialist after that. If you want to be good at set pieces, you need a good ball taker. When you have good interest, it's not because of work. We work in the same way, but the problem is getting good interest. Look at West Ham. What changed? The taker was Ward-Prowse. For sure you can work like West Ham worked, but now you add a player like him, you increase the percentage." Chelsea could pay £86 million to sign Victor Gyokeres. According to Portuguese outlet Leonino, Chelsea are the only club who can trigger the release clause to sign Sporting Lisbon striker Victor Gyokeres at the end of the season. The London Giants were keen to include an £86 release clause in the striker's contract this winter, but they have made no such approach amid concerns over financial fair play. Chelsea need to balance their finances first before buying new players, but they continue to be linked with a move for Gyokeres. Speaking with a FIFA-approved agent, Leonino highlighted that Gyokeres has a big market in England, but only Chelsea are willing to pay close to the value of the clause. Sporting were reluctant to negotiate terms during the winter transfer window, but the scenario may be different at the end of the ongoing season. Steve Nicol can't see what the 23-year-old brings to Chelsea. Steve Nicol, speaking on ESPN FC, questioned what Mudryk really brings to this Chelsea team. Nicol stated that speed is the only thing Mudryk has in his locker. Discussing the winger after the game against Wolves, the Liverpool legend said, "Look at Mudryk, €70 million right. Can someone tell me, apart from being an Olympic sprinter in football terms, what his skills are?" The above may sound harsh, but as long as Mudryk continues to make mistakes in the final third of the pitch, then that's what he will look like. A footballer who has great pace and nothing else. If so, with his speed, Mudryk could be a very dangerous player for Chelsea. Until then, you might hope there will be more scrutiny, as the former Shakhtar Donetsk man is ultimately still a striker who cost the club a lot of money.